Welcome to True Tempo. It is Tuesday once again, and I am once again dipping into Izzet. Last week I played a Tameo build with 4 Murktides, and I'm once again on 4 Murktides. But today I'm playing Delver, and like the idea behind playing this decklist today is that it seems like most people playing Dimir, which is the most played deck, they play a kind of big version, a mid-range version with some Strixes or Hymn to Turax and no Nethergoyfs, Murktides, and then Barragoyfs. So basically a heavier tempo deck and and with more targets for Spell Snare, and basically a deck that I think is exploitable by playing Delver. And the big weakness, of course, is Bowmasters, so that's where Spell Snare comes in. Um, this is maybe a bit extreme, playing 3 Spell Snares, but we also have a lot of, or some amount of Philia and Cutter in the format. I feel like there's a lot of 2-drops at the moment, and not a lot of Stompy decks. Like Spell Snare is good against Chalice, but otherwise bad against Stompy decks. Um, so I think Spell Snare is actually pretty decently positioned. And it also takes care of all the removal spells that target Murktide, from Brazen to Sheltered Edict, Feed the Cycle. Yeah, most stuff that isn't Snuff Out, I think. So, very stark list otherwise. Like these Spell Snares, they could be another removal spell or 2. I'm just playing 1 heat and then 2 heats in the sideboard for Barragoyfs in particular. 1 rough tumble for like the green decks and Madu aggro or Madu cats. Some surgicals for oops, and yeah, very stark otherwise. But it's like once again I'm trying to go more aggressive than the last time because I'm playing Delver and not Tamios. But I'm really trying to put my money on Murktide, and the experiment of the day is going hard on Spell Snare. I think that's going to be exciting to see. So let's play some games. All right, round 1, won the die roll, and my opponent seems to be a control player. Yorion, yeah, I guess it's 4-color beans. I have a great hand, so I'll keep. I'm playing Chandler first. Um, Playing Chandler first. Well, I might reconsider. Delver is actually the more aggressive card here because I don't have the cantrips to make Chandler delirious. So Delver is going to be, on average, doing more damage. Mm, wow, they force. So they're very soft to a Delver here. That's awesome. I can Daze and still have force up. Next turn, play another 1-drop. They just play a Wasteland. Okay, awesome. Unholy Heat we flip. So now I can either just waste them. Um, I I think I'm fine just playing a threat instead, and then wasting whatever. I think they're protecting their colored, like the dual land by playing waste first. So I think I'm fine just playing Chandler, and they can waste if they want. I have force, like my Daze doesn't have to be used by picking up an island. I think I want to prioritize wasting their dual land, like forcing and then wasting. Brainstorm, sure. That's just fine. I'm gonna Wasteland and have them on a four turn clock. So, okay, sweet. I actually shouldn't have 6. If they play Yorion, they could also play Solitude. So they could have removal even without having mana up. Okay, that's awesome that I have both Daze and Force now. I have a Surveillant I could go get. It's a bit awkward with Daze, but then again, I'm not really in the market for playing more cards on the board. So they play Bug with Yorion. Interesting. Bowmasters. Yeah, so how do I want to? I think, like, of course, I'm dazing. I think I'm just gonna get a Volcanic here, so I have options, and so I play around their Daze. Gonna float a red and Daze here, so I can, if they force, I can heat the Bowmaster, maybe get Delirious. Okay, Spell Snare, I like that. Yeah. Gives me plenty of options for next turn. Alright. Feels good playing Delver. I mean, this is a very good hand, of course, so it's always going to feel good when it's like that. This is probably a tough matchup, especially post-board, if they can draw their Carpet of Flowers, which they play for sure. Spell Snare. Yeah, I'm gonna Spell Snare. I want that. Like, I could Daze. Okay, just to not show them the Spell Snare, but yeah, maybe that's a argument for just dazing. Yeah, it probably is. I was mostly thinking about optimizing my mana usage, but quite clearly the game is over at that point. Okay, so Bug with a Bloom. I'm sure they play Euro in that deck. I'm gonna keep my Snares. Might play Murktide with the Beanstalk. Yeah, Snare seems good in this matchup. Plenty of important 2-drops. Daze on the draw is not that interesting. I have a lot of bolts and heats. Yeah, I don't want to go. I cut too many bolts either. Like maybe I'm just keeping in some Dazes. Like to keep them a bit. Yeah, keep them a bit fair. I kind of need to force a Carpet of Flowers, but otherwise, yeah, I have Snares for the Bowmasters as well. Let's try it like this. No big change. Brazen is just a catch-all. It's not very good. I might cut it. Maybe I should have cut it. So if Wasteland's good, this is a good hand. This is a setup that can definitely hurt if they have a Bowmasters. I think that's just the game we play. With a hand like this against control, I can't just say go and hope that's gonna favor me. I'm hoping that I can at least start wasting them. But yeah, Couple of Flowers is gonna be GG's almost, I feel like. Okay, so they don't do anything yet. Why is that? Huh. Okay. So could they have anything here? Don't think so. Gonna waste first. And guess I'm gonna waste the black source because that's the color of removal. Okay, fatal push. That happens. So now still feel I should play a Delver. They might have a Bowmaster, but and they decided to play around Daze. It's not impossible. Okay, more lands. I still think they would have played a Bowmaster here if they had it. So thing is, my hand is pretty. I think I'm just my hand is bad, so I need this Brainstorm to be good. That's why I'm not using it there. At this point, I am wasting and yeah, trying to see what they do here before I make a move. Sure. Okay, let's attack. What do they have here? Some kind of edict. At this point, I think I'm gonna force. They have 4 guards. Like, there's a world where, hold up, I'm gonna attack, where they don't have any more lands, and like, I can ride these creatures to victory. Definitely need to have a good hand to, like, land plus removal. It's not amazing, but they already used two of them. Okay, they have the land. And just saying go. Is that once again no Bowmaster, I assume? Gonna get Delirium here. Don't want that. Looking for a Snare. Yeah, that's perfect. I think that the Snare is good against them. Off of 1 card. They're far away from Murktide. Pretty far. Well, depends. Not if they do something and they have another fetch, that's actually enough. They put 1 on top. Okay. Quantum Riddler. That is not snareable. It's not very strong either. It's just a cantrip. Ah, that is strong. That is strong. Sweet. Combo. So now I'm looking for a Pyroblast. Thank you. Exactly. Endurance. Okay. I mean, that's just fine. I mean, it cuts something off the clock, but it's also losing 2 cards, so I'm not sad to see that. And when does it come back? In the upkeep? They have 2 cards. Murderous Cuts. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. Just in the upkeep. So, I'm gonna shoot this one in response. Don't want that. It's a close game. Their mana is not awesome. They only have Demure colors. Snare is pretty good, but they just need a push or something. I do have bolts in the deck, so if I just get in for 1, that's decent. I like my spot, but it's anyone's game. Still Demure colors only. Wow. Oh, Spell Snare. I love story. Chapter, not the first chapter. I used to play Spell Snare pretty often. I guess we'll keep that. Spell Snare. Still only Demure colors. Hmm. More 2-drops? Yeah. This is a good day for Spell Snare so far. Like we drew it up, right? They have 0 cards. We have a Ponder. Let's get Delirious. Yep, this will be Delirium. Plenty of good options, but we don't need any of them. Yep. Sweet. So far so good. See you for the next round. Round 2, and my opponent, they win the die roll, and I think they might be on. Is it tempo as well? That's at least the last couple of results they have. Oh yeah. So I'm not forcing this. I am hoping to keep my force for a Murktide and find a bolt for this one. Okay, I have the bolt. If they play Cutter, I'm just gonna check their latest list because it does make a big difference. They did have Cutter. Of course, they can also force a Cutter, but actually, yeah, I like a Delver is it dies a lot in the mirror. I don't mind holding up Snare and Bolt, and then kind of keep my options open. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a stop. That means that I'm gonna Bolt here. It means they're gonna flip. I want them to think that it's surviving. And I'm gonna see the card. Daze. Okay. Interesting that they put a Daze on top. And not, well, they can also have a, I guess it might mean they have a Daze in hand as well. Let's see. Yep. And in this case, I'm gonna fight. I think it makes sense to fight, and they're gonna draw Daze. Is it crazy to pitch? Yeah, I'm gonna pitch the Spell Snare. I play 3, and I also play Daze if they have a 2-drop. Gonna keep the Brainstorm. They pitch a Murktide. Okay, well, they have it. They have a Daze in hand, and I mean, it's okay. If they waste me, that's a bit scary. But all right. Let's see what they draw. Well, I instantly, okay, Wasteland. I instantly regretted that play, but actually it was nice. It was nice because I saw the Wasteland, because then I think it's actually pretty decent to play just Island Delver. But otherwise, what I wanted to do, if I had thought just 2 seconds more, was to use the Bauble to flip my Delver. So we know they have Wasteland, Daze, and 1 unknown. And I'm not playing into that Daze. Let's hope we can flip. Yeah, awesome. I am gonna count on I shouldn't have played that. Just playing a bit too fast and not thinking. It's kind of the risk of talking and playing. But yeah, I should have played the Volcanic and not the fetch here. Because I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot an upkeep. It's for sure. And then I save my fetch for surveilling or for Brainstorm. So it's just a bit loose. I'm still, I mean, it's a thing, playing and talking, and I'm a rookie in that regard, for sure. So what, they have Murktide here. Wow. Okay, the Cutter. Cutter is okay. Cutter is okay. Now I still have to play around Daze. But, okay. Daze, Wasteland. I don't mind. Like, if I really want to play around that Daze, I have to, play a Volcanic here. I guess that's fine. They have 2 bricks, basically. So I think that's fine. I'm just gonna put Ponder on top and play like this. Then I have a Snare for a Cutter, and from this point on, it's only like Canterbury into Murktide, which will play into the Daze. I feel like. I'm not gonna let them like counter something. What I want to do now is really not let them activate Cutter easily. Okay. I like the Daze a lot actually, because that is an answer to Murktide. So I'm just gonna do it like this. So I can play Chandler next turn. I might play Brainstorm end of turn, however, just to... Otherwise I feel like it's gonna be locked. Okay. So I think I should just Daze here. If I snare, they Daze and they get a token. And we do have what could be a race. Let's see. They can still Daze just to get the token, but that's less strong. And let's see if they have a force. Then I snare the Cutter. They have one unknown, I believe. They're doing some math here. Okay. So do I want them to get a 2/2 now using that Daze? I think it's okay. It's a 2/2 that's not attacking this turn. All right. So this Murktide might come in handy. But for the time being, I'm gonna draw it. But I'm just gonna play the Chandler. They don't have that many instants in the graveyard if they get a Murktide. So now they absolutely need a Murktide to block, or removal, of course. Bauble, okay. Do they have a second spell? They check their own deck to see. Yeah, okay. They needed a bolt on top. Okay, close game. So I don't have that many targets for Snare, but Cutter is a big one. So let's see. I didn't I didn't do all the sideboard mapping preparation for this build, so I'm just gonna go go as figure it out now is what I want to say. Basically something like this on the draw. I think it's pretty strong having these snares. It is a lot. Of course, they can be completely dead. So maybe I should cut one. Maybe I should cut one. Feel like cutting a Bauble more though. Yeah. It's... I can also counter Brazen, like Petty Theft. But otherwise, I have Brainstorm to get rid of it if I have too many. I think that's okay. One land, Wastelands. It's not perfect, but it's good. They mulligan pretty quickly. And I don't mind just wasting here, since I have removal. They might not have a lot of lands. They have a Bauble here, I think, since they're waiting. Yeah, so if I Wasteland, sure, I get beaten by Delver, but if they don't have any more lands, that's gonna be very good. And I have the removal at the ready, plus I want turns to draw my own second land, if possible. Bolt and a land, okay. So this can definitely go wrong if they have another threat, and they do. They have a Wasteland for my, or Daze. Yeah, well. This is just gonna cycle. Might as well do it now. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait. Guess I'm gonna get a look. They're gonna show me a card, and then I'm gonna Bauble to see the card after that one. But yeah, if they have a Daze and a Wasteland, I think I'm close to dead. We know they have a Bolt and a Brainstorm. I think I haven't tracked it, but I feel like losing to mana issues is the most common occurrence in this metagame. I have a Bolt on top that they maybe are not sure if they want to keep, or maybe they're absolutely sure they want to keep it. Okay. I think I need to try and hit my land. That's the priority here. Okay, awesome. And if they play a Murktide, it's going to be small, so I can heat a Murktide. And Daze is like not what I'm banking on. I just want to hit my lands. I have so many good spells. I'm gonna bolt if they fetch or in the upkeep. Yeah, they only have one instant. So Murktide is gonna be small enough that he takes care of it for sure this turn. And Cutter is a thing, but I present a lot of flyers here. We know they have one, well, we don't know if they have bolt, but I assume they have one bolt in that hand. And that was the second bolt they put on top with Brainstorm and shuffled it away. And they ponder. And they like it, and they play another ponder. So I think they're setting up for a Wasteland, yeah, for a better Murktide. It's now a 6/6 if they play it just with this. And let's play some channelers. Hopefully they can only make a 6/6 Murktide. Like they would need land cantrip or land bolt. And then they play into Daze. It's a tough choice for them if they have that choice. This is definitely better than just playing Cutter, cantrip or something. Okay, awesome. Because it's a 6/6 now. I'm gonna take my draw step and hope that they don't have a force. I kind of like that. Yeah, no, not really. I have a Delver and it's not gonna flip. Plus, I'm afraid of getting wasted. I think this is also not what I'm looking for. I want to flip my Delver. Without brainstorming. So it's tough for them now because Murktide is a small one if they play a second. But well, even just a 4/4 Murktide is good. Okay, so at this point I'm actually gonna upkeep Brainstorm to guarantee the aggression. And I'm happy to play that. Okay, awesome. I'm just gonna put like Daze in hand, Delver in hand, and I guess Brainstorm and then Bolt. So I'm flipping both Delvers if nothing else happens. There's some lag going on. Okay, I had an internet outage and disconnection, but I think that the game is as it should be. Yes, all is good. Let's just play this. Don't think it matters. Before or after combat, if they have a Hydroblast, they shoot it anyway. Now, I don't know. They need a miracle, more or less. That's not cutting it, since I'm flipping, and the bolt. Yeah, Delver is sweet. They concede. Okay, good start to the league. Let's see if we can continue. Round 3, my opponent likes to play Jeskai Control. So close to a good hand, but it's not. Okay, that will do. And I'm actually binning the Force of Will. which is, I guess, not surprising, but on a mulligan, but also against control, it's not really where I want to be. I thought this was an island. Otherwise, I would have played okay, my eyes have deceived me. I was sure this was an island. Okay. Such is life, such is life. I wouldn't have fetched there. Otherwise. The brain. The brain. Maybe I just read the island of Volcanic Island really quickly. And that was it. I am playing around Daze and building not in the upkeep. Yeah. Don't hate that. And I'm holding up my snare. Who knows? Maybe they have the... If they play Jeskai, the trainer, Thunder something trainer. So here they just say go. Now I can ponder, get close to Delirium. Daze. Do I think that's good? I think it's okay, yeah. This early in the game. But this is not really what I want over 3 cards. Yeah, I'm gonna brainstorm. See if I can get that Delirium off of Bauble or second Chandler. Sure. That's often the job of the first Chandler, first creature. Okay. I am... We have some big maybes in Snare and Daze. I'm just gonna check the latest list because if they play like Supreme Verdict, it matters. We have some 2-drops here and there. Flame of the Norse. One Terminus. I think I'm gonna bank on holding up Snare. It's tough. I mean, they don't have swords. What do they have? Some expensive stuff. Maybe Snapcaster. Maybe some counter spells like Pierce Snare. I think this Daze is gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be okay. I think I'm just gonna put... That's really tough. I feel like it's not the turn to tap out and like lose equity. Otherwise, I can also just get rid of Snare and Daze. But I feel like then it's gonna be too easy for them to sneak in an advantage. So I'm just gonna put Delver and Brainstorm on top. Yeah, this might be crazy. Might be crazy. It's a tough spot. But I think they have like Flame of Anor in hand. Brainstorm. Or maybe Terminus. They could have more Tamios that they would have played that for sure. They play 2 Fourth Dialingas, well, the latest list. They have a bunch of cards. Don't mind drawing that Brainstorm. I think I'm just, well, I could play the Delver. I don't hate that. I'm gonna keep up the mana and save the Murktide for a rainy day. I think the bowl is not really where it's at, but I can put it on top. Then that flips the Delver if nothing else happens. Another Brainstorm. Terminus. Okay, they did have Terminus. They should fetch before this trigger resolves. Yeah, okay. That's a shame. Yeah. So we have a bolt. I'm just gonna do it like this. And they can Mystic Sanctuary now. Actually, I'm just like, I don't want to play into Mystic Sanctuary Terminus just like that. I don't mind playing end of turn Brazen here. This Daze is looking pretty bad. Okay, so now Mystic Sanctuary is a bit more difficult. The Flame. Yep. Yeah, this is slipping out of control for sure. Planes. So yeah, Mystic Sanctuary is not coming. And I think it's time for me to do this and play Murktide. Kind of put all my eggs in my basket. In the basket. Okay, that's, I don't know if that's good. But it's towards Mystic Sanctuary mana, it's good. So do they play more Terminus? It's tough. I mean, they only played one Terminus in the last list, so I think I shouldn't play around it. Okay, they fetch. And force. Yep. I mean, at 6, I might get there with bolts if they have a slow clock. It's not impossible. I think I probably need to get this Daze swapped with a Brainstorm. It's not gonna cut it otherwise. Of course, I can win with the Brazen. I'm just assuming that it's not gonna get there. A land and something big. Prismatic Ending. Yep. Well, they're in bold range, so I am pretty optimistic. Actually, this Daze, I should have maybe dazed my Delver to play the Thundering Falls, just to go deeper. I think I'm basically gonna Daze anything that they play for the same reason. It just would have been better on my turn, because then I can play the Thundering Falls right away. Don't think they have any life gain in the deck. And like Murktide and Fourth Dealingus are their good cards. They like the card. They don't shuffle, at least. Okay, that's a good one. Am I allowed to draw it? No, I am not. Let's find a bolt. Protected by force. That's not it. So I have to think about like playing not slowly, because this is just game one. I'm behind on clock, and it's probably gonna be a grind. I'm just gonna play that. Guess I should have considered playing Volcanic before, but then I would have had Hardcast Force. They draw 2. I mean, I don't think I force this. I need to force their big clock, or just protect a bolt. That's the job. When they draw 2 cards, part of that is going to be a land. Now, where am I in? I think I'm not wasting, because they have, like, I'm more inclined to just play my Volcanic and hold up force. I don't think wasting does much. Tamiyo is a slow threat. They spent 4 brainstorms already, so it is a very slow threat. Okay, Sanctuary. So wasting would have, no, it wouldn't have done anything. Well, forced them to yeah, it's too late to waste. Okay, they get a Flame of Nor on top. That's fine. I can force that unless I draw a bolt now. Gonna take a look here. It's a bad one. It's a grind. I really need to have my good clicking fingers at the ready. Murktide. That's a clock. I don't really believe it's gonna work though. Do I believe in the Spell Snare? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I am gonna waste this Sanctuary. I really don't believe in the Murktide, I have to say. I prefer just being like playing control towards my lightning bolt. Okay, here it is. So how do I play this? Yeah, I think Snare is my okay. I'm gonna do it now. They can't hardcast Force. Force of Negation. I didn't think about that one. That is a shame. But yeah, they just hardcasted on their turn. They fetch for what? Flame of Anor? Yeah. They can't force though. They have to Force of Negation. Close game. We got there. Okay. So Jeskai Wizards. Jeskai Wizards. My Wastelands are bad. That's kind of an edge that we can board out Wastelands. Our Snares looked pretty bad there, but I do think they have some targets. Did we see Murktide? No. In their list, they just play for Theolingus. With Terminus, like I don't think they're a Murktide deck. But They play some, like maybe boarding out 4 Wastelands is too much. But I do like that fundamentally. Brazen is an attacker. I don't hate that. Heat is pretty bad. I think I'm just gonna do it like this. Plenty of stack interaction. Yeah, I basically need to. I could play Consign to counter Terminus. That is a consideration. Is that better than Force of Negation? I mean, Force of Negation is not very good. My fear with Consign is not having any targets, but the first one, I'm gonna try just one. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm keeping. I have a land. It's not the best in the world, but we play. I'd rather just find lands. I have enough dirtling going on. Okay, sweet. I really want to find my second land. That ain't it. Yeah, that sucks. Now I have to discard. Maybe that was a bit stupid. I could have just played a Delver and then, yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. Gonna discard this Spell Snare because that is a bit risky in the sense that we haven't seen many targets yet. Okay, we play. We can play now. Let's get the... Well, what I play is gonna die on side. I'm gonna play the worst one. Yeah, this... We're set up... I'm 5 minutes behind on Clack though. That's a real issue. That is a real issue. Yep. Like, I'm definitely giving them a lot of time, but I don't have... I mean... They're not getting any advantage per se. And at some point, like, their land drops doesn't really help them. It helps them towards beating Daze, of course. But, okay. Now do I play the Chandler? I'm not convinced. But, okay, another ending. I think I... Yeah, sorry, I'm undecided. I wanted to brainstorm there, but actually I want to keep up my counter spells. It's a bit poor. Okay, another one. I mean, just trading 1 for 1 is not the worst. They might run out of removal spells. It's actually worth considering boarding in Surgical. Take since they play Mystic Sanctuary, that's one target available, but there's also okay, sweet. Just getting rid of swords can be pretty good. Yeah, I am happy. Just one more threats and play them one at a time. Terminus on top. Alrighty. Let's see if they probably know about that one. No, okay, they didn't. I didn't check out. I remember their Ponder history. So these Pyroblasts, they are for Flame of Anor. Yeah. And Tamios. I do have Daze in the deck. I'm not gonna... I have a fine top of my deck and I don't mind. Just, I'm happy holding up Pyroblast. Alrighty. So when is it time to play Murktide? I don't think it's yet. I think I'm just going to play one Delver and say go, and end of turn Brainstorm. Or Brainstorm now. All right, let's put Ponder. So I have double flips potentially. I have Force Up. All right. And now might be the time, but I don't think so. I'm gonna wait still. Play one more creature, and then next turn I can play the Murktide if nothing else happens. Yep, they draw cards. What a grind. What a grind. They spent 2 plows, 2 endings. They have Terminus in the deck. So, is it dying? Pyroblast. Okay. Now I'm playing my Murktide. I'm making it a 7/7 because that's a 2-turn clock and I want to save some for future Murktides. I am protecting this with force. Upkeep Pyroblast. Got 3 cards left. Could be counter spells. More removal. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary. On Plow. And do they have a draw spell? Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. So now I'm gonna see if I can find another Murktide. I can. And I can't protect it with force. But I think at this point I am just jamming. Another 7/7. Guess I should have considered making it a 6/6. But yeah. Bauble and Delver in the bin is pretty good for delirium purposes. Just need a land and an instant. So there is that. They are thinking. Price of freedom. Okay, I can find a basic island and they draw a card. Why did they play that after board? Okay, they have a plow. And we have nothing. We can bold that. I will be doing that. I can't have 6. But I would love to get better on the clock here. What is this? Oof. That's a game-winning card for sure. Now I can have 6. 1 card left. Murktide. Thank you. Very much. Can we get there? At least we can have 6 while trying. No. They draw a card. Pretty good. Price of Freedom is a cool card. And I didn't try it yet, but I did think about it at some point. Do they have... They just... Okay, they draw 3 cards. It's very good. For sure. We have them almost in double bold range. Three minutes behind on the clock. I don't love it. I am gonna let them jump, but I think that they have a Flame of Anor, and then I can bolt. Yeah, then I can bolt here. Three cards left. It's a lot. Okay. That is... Wow. They have a Triumph of St. Catherine coming up. I'm not beating that. Yeah, I'm not beating that. They have 19 cards. It's enough. Yeah. Triumph of St. Catherine. Okay. So they have several of those. I can also counter that Miracle Trigger. Can also counter that Miracle Trigger. And I feel like Unholy Heat is... Yeah, I'd rather want to just force a Daze it. I think that's better. 2 consigns. Is that a good number? 1 Brazen to bounce it. Yeah. I think that is Okay, Spell Snare. Did I see cards that justify playing all these Spell Snares? Maybe not really. Put in 1 heat, yeah. Cool game. I should have enough time to finish in a normal way. Alright, it's not awesome, but I'll keep. I'm gonna just get my Bauble going so I can find a red land. Sweet. That's fine. I saw Price of Freedom as a 2-drop. So like that's just a cantrip. Well, it's more than a cantrip when I have my island. It's pretty good. Yeah. And we know they have Brainstorm. So that's a thing I don't like. Yeah, and I can really get done in by Terminus if I play, but I also feel like I have to do something pretty sweet. They have a pretty sweet setup with the Triumph of St. Catherine's on top. And I'm gonna Surveil, hope to find a cantrip. That's a cantrip. Now we just need an instant. I mean, I wouldn't hate drawing that. Okay, I'll draw this one then. Wow. Okay, well, I think a double force might be good. Let's start off by attacking this Tamiyo. And I think we should fight. It doesn't feel good. I'm gonna put it on top. Because I have so much removal, like this can definitely go wrong. So I need to, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna not overextend, keep it at this. Ah. Yep. Okay. So such is life, such is life. I'm gonna hope that this Murktide can get there. Protected by a force. It's not very likely against 5 cards out of their deck. because they do have infinite removal with the Pyroblasts as well. They have a sweet deck. I think because we have a metagame with a lot of creatures, Terminus it's a good call. I have no more. And they're far away from... Just gonna play this and attack. Far away from Mystic Sanctuary Terminus back. And I can have 6. I can put an upkeep stop so I can fetch if I don't like the Delver card. Gemio, well, no, Snapcaster. Here it is. 2-drop. It was there. I think this is gonna be tough to win, to say the least. I don't mind trying that one. Okay, well, let's try and keep delvering. I can ponder into consign. Maybe that's good. Yeah, that's so strong. Yeah, they really have a good deck to beat what I'm doing. Murktide, okay. I can't let them, I have to attack the Tameo. Otherwise they get a plow. They have 7 cards in hand. What a joke. Yeah, I am jealous, I have to say. And I'm still, like, I'm 4 minutes behind. I feel like I couldn't play much faster. I'm not really taking any time. Maybe it's just the internet connection, which is a bit bad today. But yeah, I'm surprised that I am still losing time on the clock. So attack Tameo is a forced. Hoping this consign does some magic. It will. Okay, so let's counter that. Twice. and I have to say my memory is failing me. I think I have a bad card on top, so I'm gonna fetch, but I might be wrong. It might be an unknown, but I feel like I had a land on top. Okay, they look. And if only if I was ahead in time, well, they have plenty of time, but there's a world where if I could get ahead in time that I could win by clock, but I feel like that's not gonna happen since I played as fast as possible. They shuffle. They must have a win like a something that kills a Murktide, right? Do I shoot the Snapcaster? No, it's for Catherine that they can potentially hardcast. Okay. I do have bolts in my deck. Do have bolts in my deck. Do they have force of negations? Let's try and brainstorm. And let's try and bolt them, right? Put like this. Don't think it's better giving them the turn. I draw a card. They have hydroblasts and stuff. Wow, we got there. Amazing. What a game. What a game. And well, see you for the next one. Hope it'll be as sweet as this one. All right. Round 4, and I'm against Lance Master Ali. This is a fine hand, not so much against him, but I have a threat. So, I mean, it's a tough matchup, especially pre-board. Kind of depends on what kind of hand they have. I'm kind of weak to everything, unless if it's a slow hand and I can find Wastelands and so on. Like my cantrips need to find what I'm looking for. Okay, yeah. Do they have exploration as well? Yeah, this is gonna be a short one, I think. I think my sideboard is fine, as far as I remember. Wasteland, I can't say no. Assume that they don't have Loam. Loam I definitely can't beat. So they have 3 cards, and I just hope that that it's slow stuff. Reputation, alright. That's pretty good. Stage. Can I make a quick merit lage? Schadenpot. Okay, they can. Indeed. So if they let me play my waste, then I do have some. So now, let's think. They're gonna tap my Wasteland with the port, maybe, and then I can. Then I have to act. The question is, what am I doing? They only have one card. What am I doing with my mana? I have 2 Brazen Borrowers that I'd like to find. Think I'm gonna prioritize that. Because otherwise I'm basically just losing to them having more mana. So they can port and depths in the same turn, or just drawing a Wasteland. Yeah. Also finding more Wastelands would be good. I like the land. I like the Bauble. This will get me Delirium. Do I bin the Ponder? Do I bin the Ponder? I think so. Just to go a bit faster. I'm not sure I have the time to dirtle too much. Let's see what they draw. Loam. That's not good. That is not good. How do I beat that? At least when they tap for loam, I can waste. But this is, yeah, oof. This is tough. So now, yeah, they have this play of just tapping the Wasteland. Need to find Brazen Borrower, basically. Doesn't really make any sense wasting depths. If I waste Cradle, how am I not losing? I think there's no outs actually. I think there are no outs. other than having Brazen on top. It was an unknown. It's Brainstorm. Looks like I have like boomerang basics in the deck, maybe. Okay, now I can concede. Okay, nice, tough matchup against a great pilot. So we have some tools. And consign is a consideration. I'm just going to check the latest list. They played Reclaimer in their latest list, but you never know. I think they switch it up pretty often. The question is whether consign is worth it. They probably have endurance. I feel like a couple of consigns is gonna be worth it. And I'm gonna like bet that these cards are the weakest. Snare, that's a good question. I don't usually have those snares. Like, it counts as loam, but that's not really where you want to be at. They play Sylvan Scrying, maybe? Or Malevolent Rumble. Sylvan Scrying is in their latest list. Like, 3 snares is too much, right? Like, Daze is not awesome against lands, but on the play, I'm okay. I'm okay trying. Because it's versatile. They don't always have extra mana. That's a lot of baubles. Sure. Just gonna check. Yeah. So I want to get Delirium, but I also would like a land. Sylvan Library, yeah. And I can wait. Force of Will, no. I'm just gonna draw one Chandler. I'm just gonna do it like this and see their next draw step. Crag it. Oh, I can wait. Maybe they fetch. Yeah. I might melt down that, but let's see. Expedition map, okay. Yeah, I like a bolt. Okay, nice timing. No lands. Yeah. This might be a short one. I feel like if I hit a land and I can remove the Mox Diamond, there's a chance of me buying a lot of time. Okay, wrong land. This finds awful things. Does this find a Saga? It can find Dark Depths. I feel like I have to brainstorm and hope to find the land and the blue card. I need to get lucky, basically. Okay, that's kind of something. So Meltdown can flip Delver. But yeah, I need them to really slow down quite clearly. Okay, that's not the definition of slowing down, but Meltdown being in my hands means that there is hope. All right. Sagas for days. Tabernacle. This is such a beating. But yeah, let's just keep on swinging until it's over. So what do they find with this saga? Okay, just mana, so they can make infinite saga tokens. And I mean, a meltdown is still gonna be yeah, dude, still gonna be something. Now, if they tap it, I can Wasteland it. And then I can Meltdown later. If they don't tap it, I can't really waste. They have waste, of course. If this becomes an island, does it lose? I mean, no, yeah, it keeps, that's the thing, it keeps the ability. think I need to get rid of the Tabernacle, actually. Even though it's also hurting them. But I think I need to be able to draw land. Like, what's their clock? This is tough. Like, I buy a turn if I try to waste the Saga, but is that good? It's not very good. If I waste Yavi Maya, then they might have real issues paying for the Tabernacle. Paying for their tokens, and like that will put a halt. To what they're doing. Okay, so they copy like that. Fair enough, fair enough. At least they're not making a token this turn. Deck depths, okay. More issues. More issues. Huh. How am I beating this board state? Yeah, I don't think I have an out. At least if I pay for the Delver, I have a blocker. And now I can melt down. What does that do? It does. I can melt down, or I can play a Chandler. They attack. And then I can block with the Chandler. Yeah, there's something maybe here, like tempo-wise. But they still have the Tabernacle, so that's a pain. That's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I think I'm gonna melt down and then just play jump blockers until I find a bounce, basically. Okay, so they just make a Saga token instead. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. Happens. Yeah. Dum 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 dum. It's pretty cool how lands, like, how it's just so different from other decks. And I don't have any outs. Well, yeah, I can draw a land, play Murktide, block, and then draw a Brazen. That's the out. Okay. It's over. See you at the next one. Round 5. My opponent likes to play Painter. I can't keep this hand. Well, you could argue that there's a draw in Bauble. I don't think it's a good one. Neither is this one. Okay, so how am I beating Painter? With Delver Murktide? Because Channeler and Murktide, they interact with each other. And binning, or maybe just Delver Channeler. Is that faster? Maybe it is. And just keeping one land? Yeah. Okay, that's very strong against the Channeler. Is there a point in... I think there might be a point in getting an island here. I think that's a good idea. They could play moon effects. So I'm bubbling on their turn on my deck. So I can interact with the top. Fable, okay. At least Ancient Tomb is doing them damage. Okay, a land. So I need to put Delver trigger on the bottom. So I draw the land. And I do have a consideration if I Brainstorm here. I actually think I do. I really need this to flip. I can't have it any other way. I think I'm gonna like Murktide. I am not happy about. And I don't want to put creatures when they have creatures into the bin when they have a creature. It's worth thinking about. And I'm heating this turn, I guess. So they don't get mana. I want them to take damage here. Yeah. and that does mean that I'm drawing a bad card. But yeah, maybe, who knows, maybe I can still get there on the Murktide. It's not impossible. This is a matchup where it's nice to have that meltdown in the sideboard. Painted Servant, alright. And Saga can get Grindstone. Gonna Wasteland it, of course. I have to read this card again. Yeah, okay. It's not super relevant for now. I'm just gonna ponder. I'd like to find a bolt. Wasteland Waste. I don't hate the second waste. When they're on 3 mana, Daze might be okay. I think I'm gonna try this. So as it stands, the Kiki token doesn't do anything interesting. If they have a Fury or something, it's definitely game over. Okay, for 5 mana. Another painter, okay, that's fine. I'm pretty close to playing Murktide actually. But not close enough. So the question is, if I waste just to keep them, they have so much mana, it doesn't seem very good. Doesn't seem very good. I don't think I can run through any hoops like with Daze and Surveil triggers to get enough cards from Murktide this time around. It's a bit weird not wasting when I have Daze, but they have infinite mana. Oof. Alright. So now they can use this. Okay. So is this this might be game over. Like there's a combo with the Cauldron, but I don't remember if they need anything. I'm just gonna see if they can start putting counters on. Yeah. just like that. Just gonna F6. And quickly done. I can see some cards from their deck. Ensnaring Bridge. So got Lantern. So yeah, plenty of stuff for my graveyard. Murktide is like targeted by both Pyroblast and the Graveyard Hate, so that's pretty tough for sure. I think this might be good. Surgicals. I'm not sure about consigns, but it's definitely on the maybe cards. Daze is typically pretty bad against a deck like that. They can easily have a lot of excess mana. And I think I can shave here. Snare seems pretty good. Seems pretty decent. Consign is relevant against Saga. It's relevant against a lot of their deck, really. And then there's also just the question of removal. Maybe I just forgo stuff like this. And we have snares and consigns for the cauldron. Rough Tumble is almost also a card. Actually could be. Maybe I just drop the Force of Wills. I mean, I think that makes sense against the Pyroblast deck anyways. And just play one Surgical. How about that? I don't love it. Maybe just one Daze or just one Murktide. Yeah, just one Murktide. Yeah, so I'm banking on my 1 mana counter spells. That's good. Of course, they have Ancient Tomb and stuff, so that can quickly be too slow. Yeah, that's too slow as well. Brainstorm coming up. So hoping for no Ancient Tomb, plus 2-drop. Here it is. Well, I can bounce it, so that's something. I think that's just what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Do I just ignore that? Do I just ignore that? I think so. What I could have done was use a consign on the trigger. Guess that's fine. they didn't use it. That's interesting. I think no, I have to attack. I'm gonna ponder and see if I can find a bolt. I think that would be good. Okay, yeah, I'm liking all of this. But what do I like the most? Well, the bolt. And the heat, that is. And I'm just gonna bin it to make my graveyard bigger. I don't mind having a Brainstorm there. And then a Wasteland in the deck. They bin a Devourer. Okay, so do I consign or snare? I think I consign. Okay, they have 2 mana up. I have 2 mana up. I can find a removal spell for this, so I think I just let that slide. I need to counter the Cauldron. I have a bunch of removal spells in my deck. Let's see if I can find one. Yep, sweet. And when do I Brainstorm? Well, let's bolt and see what I have on top. If I find a Wasteland, do I play it? I think I'm gonna hold the Brainstorm. Well, actually, I think the thing is, I also have this to spend my mana on. Say I find a Wasteland and I snare on their turn, then I'm gonna be very happy just doing this with my mana next turn. I can't say no to a ponder. Okay, sweet. So I'm good. Just gonna put the Spell Snare bottom, I think. All right. Yeah. And a welder. Wow. Yeah. What does this do? Does this mean I am dead? No. No, yes. Because they swap boots with the Cauldron. And the Cauldron removes the Devourer, and then they have Devourer on a creature. That's how that's I might be missing something, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Let me just think. I think that that I need a removal spell in response. I think that's the gist. So I think I need to shuffle here. Okay, I found one. So let's see what happens. Maybe they just have a line where I am dead no matter what. Is it because now they can... Because they have two creatures, I don't have any outs. Maybe that's the gist. Shoot this, and then they just attack me with Welder. Yeah, I think, and they just have me. I need another removal spell here. Yeah. All right. Ursa Saga's doing me in. So yeah. As this Goblin Welder is growing bigger, I think like Spell Snare felt pretty good, but like in this matchup, maybe I'm underestimating the value of Surgical Extraction. It feels like it here because I felt like I had, well, it was the haste and everything that made it so good. I don't know. If you have an opinion, I'd love to hear it. And yeah, I'm just gonna go to closing thoughts. Closing thoughts on this Spell Snare driven Izzet Delver list. Yeah, it felt pretty good. 3 might be one too many, even when it is good in the metagame. But Delver, like just the basic shell, felt quite good. We had a lot of difficult matchups and got there in some of them. I don't think Painter is traditionally a difficult matchup, but it's like this version, which attacks the graveyard a lot, is pretty strong against Chandler and Murktide, so it might be more difficult than the traditional build. But yeah, I think these 3 snares, they can also be some combination of stifles and snares and still work in that sense against bowmasters, where you can stifle the trigger and it achieves not the same thing, but sometimes it's good enough. Yeah, I think it's definitely it always feels good to play Delver. So I think the deck is very close to being tier 1, even though there is Dimir everywhere. So as people try to beat Dimir, Delver might have like an edge against those decks because people focus a lot on beating the black creatures. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping my eyes open for Izzet, but Dimir is still my go-to deck these days, I think. But it's close. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you next Tuesday.